Assalamu alaikum. You may think that I'm being harsh, and I am. This act of worship of seeking knowledge, people want to claim it, but they don't want to do it. Understand? They want the prestige that it comes with it, but rather you are destroying and lowering its prestige. And this happens a lot with children, boys and girls, from the ages of 13 through 19. This happens a lot. And reverts as well. And I'm not trying to call out on reverts. They need support, I understand that. But your support should not be taken from desecrating the religion, putting yourself in a position that where you're not worthy to be put in. As well as for those of the ages of 13 through 19 and everyone and anyone who puts himself in a position that is not worthy of, they're not worthy of, such as answering questions, this and that, etc. It's better for you to study a book and share from that book that you study. It's way better for you. Barakallahu fikum. If you don't know where to begin, I'll tell you where to begin. And it's not me. The ulama have said this even before I was of existence, before I was born. The ulama have said this. Study the book, The Three Fundamental Principles of Islam. You want a hardcover copy, like an actual physical copy? DM me. I'll mail it to you. I'll ship it to you. If you live in the United States, you want the PDF? DM me. I'll send you the PDF. Okay? And I'll send you the best translation that's available as well. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse of being ignorant. You have no excuse of speaking without knowledge. You have no excuse of not knowing what to do. You're being educated and told what to do. You're being facilitated and helped in concerning how to seek knowledge and where to start. You have no excuse. You have absolutely no excuse. Allah has made it easy for you. Start there. Read this book, The Three Fundamental Principles. Read this book 2, 3, 4 times. Read it to someone. Have somebody read it to you. Anything you don't understand from vocabulary, ask someone. You could ask me. My DMs are always open for these types of things. I would love if somebody actually comes in my DMs and be like, brother, I read this book, but I did not understand this. Nobody ever does that because people hardly study. Rather, people come in asking vague questions that has nothing to do with anything. I digress. After you read this, after you studied it well, after you learned it, I recommend you read the explanation by Sheikh Ibn Baz. Sheikh Ibn Baz's explanation is very concise, very easy. And then after that, you move on to other explanations that are more advanced. And then you can move on from there. When you're finished with that text, you finish studying that text, Kitab al-Tawheed, Al-Aqidat al-Wasatiyah, and so on and so forth, and you keep moving forward. Understand? You will have more knowledge. If you do this for 2-3 years, you'll have more knowledge than the average Muslim, way more knowledge. Barakallahu fikum. And not only this, you collect notes. You write down notes. And the three fundamental principles, you have so many benefits and gems within it. You know, the gems mentioned by Bukhari, gems mentioned by Ibn Kathir, gems mentioned by Ibn al-Qayyim, you know, that he put in this short little text, the three fundamental principles. Right? Copy them down. Copy them down with a pen or put them in your phone with your note app or whatever. And collect gems. And when you collect and write gems and you collect these things, it helps you retain what's the word I'm looking for? Retention. It helps you with the retention of what you read. So keep doing that, and share it on social media. I have nothing against it. Share this on social media. Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad ibn Wahhab said that Imam Bukhari said, knowledge precedes speech and action. You know, and then you put the page number. Barakallahu fikum. You know, Barakallahu fikum. Again, if you need help concerning this, my DMs are open. If you want the PDF, my DMs are open. Barakallahu fikum. May Allah grant you success. Assalamu alaikum. I was asked a question just now. Which tafsir of the Quran should a layman read? And they mentioned some of the tafsir of the Quran. In my head, I'm like, why is the layman reading the tafsir of the Quran? Like, I asked, did they read the books have you read that you were supposed to read initially? And the answer was no, they're learning the Quran, so they want to understand the Quran better. I understand this, I get it. It's a urge to want to understand the Quran. However, when you skip books, you skip, you know, the three fundamental principles, you skip Kitab al-Tawheed, you skip Al-Aqidat al-Wasatiyah, you skip Usul al-Sunnah, Aqidat al-Tahwiyah, all of these books, when you skip them and you try to go into tafsir and all of these things, it will show and it will express holes in your knowledge. Your knowledge is not complete. You must understand that these books of Aqidah, they are the Quran, they are the Sunnah. Understand this? I have Tafsir Ibn Kathir, Tafsir Sa'di, and the Tafsir by Muhsin Khan and Hilali. I have never read the entire Tafsir, la, never. Sometimes for free reading, I may read the Tafsir, And sometimes what I really use it for is that when I do read a verse in the books of Aqidah or the books of Raqa'iq, heart softeners, or something like this, and the books of fiqh, and I do read a verse and I want to fully understand the verse, then I will go to the tafsir. I wouldn't read the tafsir as a whole book, not like that. La. Again, people who I see do this with skipping the books that they should be beginning to read and following a system of education, of learning, of cultivation, level 1, level 2, level 3. So, wa alaikum salam, level 1, level 2, level 3. When they skip this, they have holes in their knowledge. So take advantage of the works of the scholars in which they have produced for easy learning, for learning step by step. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.